in sort values. So sorting, there are two types of sorting. First is sort by axis, जो हमने उसके पहले के लेक्चर में देखा. एंड इन द लास्ट लेक्चर वी हैव सीन सॉर्ट बाय वैल्यूज. सॉर्ट बाय वैल्यूज क्या होता है? इसके अंदर की ये जो वैल्यूज होती है ना, ये ऑल वैल्यूज, इसको पकड़ के हम सॉर्ट कर सकते हैं. अभी इसको सॉर्ट करने के लिए क्या क्या तरीके हैं? अभी अगर नंबर्स रहते वी कैन डू फ्रॉम अ लार्जर नंबर टू अ स्मॉलर नंबर, और अगर वर्ड्स रहते वी कैन डू अल्फ़ाबेटिकली, राइट? सो दीज ऑल ऑप्शंस दैट वी गेट व्हेन वी डू सॉर्टिंग एलिमेंट्स, और उसके अंदर की जो वैल्यूज है वो. ओके. सो फॉर दैट फॉर दैट वी हैव सीन, सबसे पहले ट्रांसपोज, एक थोड़ा सा क्विक छोटा सा फंक्शन था, उस फंक्शन को हमने देख लिया. df डॉट ट्रांसपोज ये क्या करेगा? आपकी जो रोज है उसको कॉलम्स में कन्वर्ट कर देंगे, कॉलम्स को रोज के पास भेज देगा. उस तरीके से क्या होगा कि आप सॉर्ट बाय रोज भी कर देते हो, तो आपको लाइक अगर कॉलम्स नहीं करना है तो बेसिकली, और आपकी ही डेटा सेट को एक अलग व्यू से यू कैन वॉच योर डेटा सेट. ओके, देन आई कैन सी. ओके, देन वी स्टार्टेड विथ सॉर्टिंग वैल्यूज़. इसके अंदर हमने हमारी ओरिजिनल डेटा फ्रेम ले ली, एंड वी सेड सॉर्ट बाय वैल्यूज फॉर एज इन ईयर्स ओनली. जो एज इन ईयर है हमारा ये कॉलम, इस कॉलम के लिए ही हम सोच रहे थे. एंड वी हैव सेड असेंडिंग इक्वल्स टू ट्रू, मीनिंग जिसका एज सबसे कम रहेगा वो आगे रहेगा, जिसका एज सबसे ज़्यादा रहेगा वो पीछे रहेगा. सो दैट समथिंग इज कॉल्ड एज सॉर्ट वैल्यूज. इस एज इन ईयर्स को हमने असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में सॉर्ट कर लिया. ओके, देन अगर इसी को फॉल्स कर देते तो क्या हो जाएगा? द एज इन ईयर्स के यहाँ पर योर ओल्डेस्ट, जिसका एज सबसे ज़्यादा रहेगा वो टॉप पे आ जाएगा. ओके, समवन एंड जिसका एज सबसे कम रहेगा वो नीचे चलेगा व्हेन असेंडिंग इक्वल्स टू फॉल्स, राइट? सो हमें वी शुड नो दैट सॉर्ट वैल्यूज मीन्स वी आर सॉर्टिंग दीज वैल्यूज, अंदर की वैल्यूज, एंड सॉर्ट एक्सेस या सॉर्ट इंडाइसेस वॉट एवर द फंक्शन वॉज, रेफर कर लेना, that deals with these column values. Okay, that deals with these column values. Then you can also sort using 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, like this. Okay, and you can set ascending equals to true or ascending equals to false. You can also say like for different columns you can handle it differently. For example, you want salary to be descending and age in years to be ascending. असेंडिंग इक्वल्स टू ट्रू मीन्स वो असेंडिंग चले जाएगा, असेंडिंग इक्वल्स टू फॉल्स मीन्स वो डिसेंडिंग चले जाएगा. ठीक है, डिसेंडिंग में बड़ा वैल्यू आगे रहता है, पहले आता है, छोटा वैल्यू बाद में जाता है. उसके बाद हमने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक देखा, एंड मे बी वी विल कंटिन्यू दैट टॉपिक टुडे ऑल्सो. फर्स्ट इज नल वैल्यूज ट्रीटमेंट. नल वैल्यूज कौन सी होती है? ये वाली. यहाँ पर here originally there is no value, there is no word, there is no number, nothing. It is called as not a number. Okay, null value. And then we want to detect this value, like first operation was detecting the null value, second operation was treating the null values. Right, first was detecting and second was treating the null values. So how do we detect? We have seen already 2-3 function. First, info say we get to know where we have null values here or here, right? Second, we have seen is null, is alpha, is null, is na. ये function से भी you can detect null values. So here weights in kg we spotted there are 3 null values. Here in city there are 1 null values. We have also spotted if you say df dot columns. Okay, if you say df dot columns, it will give you all the columns which has null values. It will give you all the columns which has null values. So कुछ इस तरीके से भी आप कर सकते हो. Then we have seen कुछ और functions. Yeah, so first identifying null values we got it. Now we want to do the treatment. Okay, since you are a doctor, you have identified the disease, and now you want to do the treatment. For doing the treatment, there are two options as of now. First is drop in. Basically, अगर कोई body part सड़ा हुआ है उसको काट ही दो. That is the first way. Okay, and the second way is जो भी जहाँ पर भी ये जख्म है हेयर, इसको थोड़ा सा काट दो एंड इसकी जगह पे कुछ और डाल दो. ओके, so this is like in a medical way I try to explain. But dropping the null values means if I run this drop na, here you can see drop na, it will directly delete whatever the rows I had, and whatever the null values it had, it directly deleted those rows. Okay, this is very straightforward way to treat the null values. Second is I have seen fill na. Fill na means fill the null values. Wherever the I find the null values, what I will do is I will add some information there. I can add some particular any word, any number. I can add mean values, median values, mode values. I can add backward fill, forward fill. ठीक है, backward fill means ये 68 यहाँ पर चले जाएगा. Forward fill means ये 68 forward वाली वैल्यू में चले जाएगा. Okay, so here are some examples. Okay, I said fill na df dot fill na and उसके जहाँ जहाँ पर null values रहेगी वहाँ पर be happy डाल दो. You can see wherever the null values were, be happy has been added, right? Then second, okay, सौरभ गर्ग from YouTube says हिंदी में बोलो. ठीक है भाई, बट इन द इंटरव्यू में तो इंग्लिश में ही बात करना पड़ेगा भाई. सो मेक श्योर यू प्रैक्टिस इंग्लिश ऑल्सो. ठीक है, हिंदी में बात तो करेंगे ही, कहीं पे कोई इशू नहीं है. ठीक है, देन हम देख रहे हैं फिल एन ए के जगह पे हमने अमोल, जहाँ जहाँ पर नल वैल्यूज थी वहाँ वहाँ पर हमने अमोल नाम से भी रिप्लेस कर दिया. नाउ द सेकेंड थिंग इज वी कैन ऑल्सो ऐड द मीन वैल्यूज. जहाँ जहाँ पर मीन नल वैल्यूज थी वहाँ वहाँ पर हम किसी पर्टिकुलर कॉलम्स का नल वैल्यूज भी डाल सकते हैं. ओके, सौरव से भाई सिखा क्या रहा हो भाई. पांडा सीख रहे हैं, पूरा पाइथन सीख रहे हैं, एआई सीखेंगे, मशीन लर्निंग सीखेंगे. ये एक इवनिंग बैच चल रहा है हमारा, जिसमें हम ऑलमोस्ट 1-1.5 महीने से पूरा पाइथन सीख रहे हैं. उसमें पांडा चल रहा है. राइट, एंड going ahead here. Yes, so what we did is we find the mean of this particular column. कौन सा column था? weight in kgs, right? So we took an entire column and we applied this mean function and we got some mean was 58.11, right? And then what we did is we simply used this fill na function to add this particular mean, whatever mean we got, to add in the columns of weights in kg wherever the null values. यहाँ पर null value थी, यहाँ पर null value थी, यहाँ पर null value थी, right? और हर एक जगह पर 58.11 चले गया. सिंपल है, राइट? एंड हमने उसी तरीके से मीडियन भी ऐड कर सकते हैं, उसी तरीके से मोड भी ऐड कर सकते हैं, राइट? एंड हम एक और मेथड से बैकवर्ड फिल, फॉरवर्ड फिल भी ऐड कर सकते हैं. बैकवर्ड फिल हमने इजी सीखा था. लेट्स से दिस इज़ अ नल वैल्यू. बैकवर्ड फिल में 0.98 नल वैल्यू पे चले जाएगा. और अगर फॉरवर्ड फिल हमने यहाँ पर देखा रहेगा कहीं पे, यहाँ पे अगर व्हेन आई यूज़ फॉरवर्ड फिल तो यहाँ पर फॉर एग्जांपल ये नल वैल्यू तो 68.0 यहाँ पर चले जाएगा नेक्स्ट वैल्यू में. ठीक है, सो इतना सब हमने कल के लेक्चर में देखा था, कल के लेक्चर में हमने इतना सीखा था. नाउ टुडे वी विल कंटिन्यू टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. बिफोर आई गो टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, एनी क्वेश्चंस स्टूडेंट्स? एनी क्वेश्चंस? कुछ ऐसा पॉइंट जो यू मिस्ड समवेयर और you want me to?
Yeah, just before you have showed the PDF of some assigning it to the DF2 and
Here, this one you wanted to.
yeah. So we can for a DF2 we will fill at a not a null value, we will fill it with ffill,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be assigned to df2.
Yes, yes. df2, it will assign to df2 column, this column.
Age in company. Okay, in that column, in age in company column, it will fill
The forward value.
no, NAN value to ffill.
Yes. So if you see
Okay.
in df2, here we had a null value, and when we see forward fill, this this value got assigned to this forward value. Okay, for df2.
Uh, yeah, can you say again? I didn't get you.
Okay, so if you see initially, let's say this is our df2. Actually, this is our df2, and we were working on this age in column, age in company, right? Now, when I say forward fill, so what happens is, here in the second position was null, right? When I say forward fill, this value will fill the next place. So what happened, we forwarded fill. Just say you are standing here and you are giving the water to the next plant. So this is what happening here. Okay, so when you say forward fill, the next value will get filled. When you say backward fill, then a 58 will fill this null value. This what happens in backward
Okay,
fill and forward.
forward fill means it will first go with the first NAN value.
Uh-huh. Every time, like if I say here in weights in kg, okay, if I say backward fill, okay, backward fill, I said backward fill. So this row has a responsibility to fill this backward value, right? This row basically it will
No,
start
my
from
doubt
here.
is like why it is
Uh-huh.
no, why are you going from 58.0? That's my doubt.
Haha.
Like
So
because it has multiple. Why we are going from 58.0?
okay. So when I say backward fill, it will start from here. Okay, from the end. It will see, do I find a null value, null value, null value? Okay, no. Here null value was there initially. So this responsibility here to fill this. इसका responsibility बन जाएगा to fill this null value. Then it will again look for null values. नहीं है null value. Okay, here there was null values, two null values basically. And then 68 will fill this null value since it is backward fill. Now when I
So
talk about
forward fill means from top is
so forward fill for age
it
in
will
company, it will
search from
start from
top.
here. It will look for, okay, null value, null. Okay, I found a null value. Now this guy has a responsibility to fill it because we are walking like this from a top to down. Okay, so here you can see
Okay, got it.
13.6 had got
Thank
filled here. All right, cool guys. Any more questions? If you have any questions, you can tell me in the comments. All right. Okay. So let's start with today's lecture. So basically, we will be handling the null values only. So this becomes handling the missing values. So this becomes a very crucial topic. Okay. Why? Because in machine learning, we get a data sets which may have these null values, as we have seen, right? Which may have these null values, and we should know how do we handle these null values, and this becomes a crucial. So pay attention and learn, like try to practice this as much as you can. So first we have seen df dot is null, right, everyone? What is null will do, it will find the null values. Second, we have seen df dot is an a. It does the same. Okay, it does the same. Third, we have seen df dot is null, and on top of that, what we have done, we have said sum. Okay, sum, we have said sum. So what this does, it will give you count of null values. Okay, because it is counting, basically some doing the summation and all. And I think this is something I can also say sum, and this also does the same. Okay, now we have also learned df dot fill and a. So what it will do, guys, it will it will it will fill the null values, with whatever, with the value you specify. Yes, anyone? All right. Then the another function was df dot drop na. What drop na will do? It will drop the row which contains the null values. So drop na will drop the entire row which contains the null value. Okay, so this we have already seen. We are detecting the null value, we are dropping the null value, we are filling the null values. All right, we are filling the null values. Now there is one more function called df dot drop. df dot drop, इसको quickly देख लेंगे and then we'll go for some more, like we'll go iteratively in more deeper manner. You can consider this lecture as a practice of this handling the null values in a deeper way. Okay, so df dot drop will drop the dropping the rows and or columns. Okay, this will drop the rows and columns directly. Okay, so let's import numpy as np, import pandas as pd. pf ho gaya guys, let me do the pd. All right, so we already have numpy and pandas. Now let's import some let's say df dot pd, df equals to pd dot read csv, and here I will add some path of any file. Let's upload a file here, maybe the same file. From tomorrow I will get some more data set for you guys. So here I will say, so this is how my data set looks like. Okay, let's see, let it pop up. The acha pd is not there. Why it is not there? Let's see, should be now working. Yes, so this is how my data set looks like. As a AI engineer, as a data scientist, as a machine learning engineer, as a Python developer, I must understand what data I am dealing with, how columns are, how data is. This is employee related data, employees data. There are some employee ID, first name of employee, how many years, what's the age of employee, what's the weight of employee, how many years the employee has worked in the company, what is the salary of the employee, and in which city the employee works. Okay, I can also say df.info, and you will get some information about your data set. Okay, so now we were talking about this function df.drop. Okay, df.drop. So this function is somewhat lethal function. Lethal means it will directly delete whatever the columns or rows are there in the data set. Okay, if df.drop means like not drop, actually drop na. We saw, right? Acha, this one. Acha, let's try and understand this one first in a more deeper value. Okay, so when I say df.drop, it will entirely delete the na values here. Okay, we have seen this in last lecture, guys. df.drop na will entirely delete the na value rows. Okay, let me just run this again, And now here if I say, acha, why I ran that? Because I wanted to get back the null values. Okay, here I wanted to get back the null values. So now since I have the null values already, so this has not run. So now I have said df.drop na. You can also mention this threshold. Okay, thresh equals to, for example, 6. So what it will look, if any value, if any data set, right, if any data set has uh, under the 6 null values, okay, after that if it has more than 6 null values, it will delete. Okay, so you can see there were 7 null values, all 6 gone, only 1 have left. Acha, it will say, it will delete the 6 null values, and it saved the one. Okay, so let's write here it will delete the 6 null values rows and saved the one null value. Okay, saved the null value. You can see there were plenty of null values, right? First row is gone, 0th row is gone, second 2 3 4 and other rows are present. Okay, and we only got with one null value. So here you can mention something like this. You can also mention like this, if you had this 7th null value. Okay, so you can say, I think, I'm not sure if we can get the same. Okay, yeah, we got the read, we get read of the other null values also. Okay, other null values also. You can also specify let's say इसको मैं 6 कर देता हूँ फिर से. You can also specify the axis equals to 0 means what? Rows. And if you say axis equals to 1, it will look into where? In the columns. It will try to delete the columns. So here it deleted the rows. Okay, here it deleted the rows. So multiple examples we can say here. If I say only 2 here, you can see why it is taking much time. Okay, you can see only 2 null values got deleted somewhere maybe. All right, so this is how you can mention threshold, you can mention axis. Okay, you can also have one more example of axis, maybe here. If I say 1 and if I run this, let's see if we get rid of some columns. No, so there is no column which has 6, right? 3 1 1, so all the columns are there. There is no. Achha, let's try. We have 100 rows, right? Let's try 98. Okay, let's see which column we get deleted. So there was one column which had more than 3, right? More than 3 null values. It means our threshold got hit. Basically we had 100 values, right? And that threshold was 98. It means it had only 97 actual values and 3 null values. So just because of that, age in weights, kahan pe gaya wo? weights in kg got deleted. Okay, so this is how this threshold thing works. So mainly we directly don't really use this threshold and axis. Okay, so if we are using this drop.na, we directly use it and we don't really want these values. But if we are not using drop.na, we use fill.na, which we have seen yesterday. Okay, we have seen yesterday. Now this drop.na is powerful with one another function, drop.na. Here you can mention subset equals to subset equals to, let's say, city. So now what happens, it will only, अच्छा यहाँ पर error आएगा, नहीं आया, fine. So now it will only refer only any particular column, which you have specified. Okay, so this is the more convenient way to delete the NA value. So here in the city, you can see here the first row had null values, and when we say subset equals to city, it deleted the first row itself. So you can also add number of columns here, like if you want city, or for example if you want age in company also. So I will simply say age in company, comma, and whenever I will use more than one value, I will add those values inside a list. Okay, and I will try to run this. So let's see if we get null values removed from age in company and city. So city doesn't have a null values, but also age in company, you can see guys, there are no null values. Whatever null values were there, we got rid of. Okay, we got rid of any. I wanted to see questions, because fill NA won't fill NA, only null. I could not get you. Threshold means what is access? Yes, sure. For some reason I am not getting the notification of these messages. It is already okay. Speaker should be maybe this one. Maybe now I will get. Okay, let me tell you threshold and access. So access we have already seen, like previously. Access meaning if I mention 0 access, it will be like a row cutting, or row wise operation will be done. In the previous lecture also we have seen in lot of cases. अरे आ ही नहीं रहा ये. So here when we say access equals to 1, it means we are talking about columns, and when we say access equals to 0, we are talking about rows. Alright, so here access 0 row wise, meaning whatever the operation we run, we are running row wise. Here in Pandas, if you go and check out the previous lectures also, or in NumPy also, we have made a use of this axis, where we have these as a x 0 axis, maybe x axis you can say, and these columns are y axis, maybe axis equals to 1. So when you say axis equals to 0, the operation entire, whatever the operation you run, here we are doing the drop NA operation, it will run axis wise. And axis is 0 meaning it will always consider the rows, and then what it want to consider, it want to delete the NA values. So it will look for NA values, but you are also mentioning the thresh means threshold. Okay, thresh meaning is threshold. H double नहीं होता है. So threshold is grammatically or English में you can say a barrier or a limit. ठीक है, a ground at the entrance to room. अच्छा क्या कह रहा है ये? The level which something starts to happen. Okay, the level at which something starts to happen. So one example about boiling water. Boiling water or a water has a threshold of 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, boiling water has a water has a threshold of 100 degrees Celsius. After that it boils, it starts boil. The normal water has a threshold, means after that threshold it will start working. Okay, here if we say thresh equals to 2, so whichever row has, I would say, one second guys, give me 1 second, let me mute you for a moment. Hello. Okay, so you told field NA feels the null values, so asking won't it feel at null values? Yes, yes, it will. It will. So we are not dealing with the null value, fill NA. We are only working on drop NA at the moment. So fill NA we have not used anywhere here. Anywhere. Fill NA and drop NA are two different functions. Okay, so fill NA will fill the values, it will these value it will fill, but drop NA will entirely delete the values, it will just delete. All right. Any questions from YouTube? Okay, I guess no. All right, so let's continue with what I can say, subset. Okay, quickly telling, df dot drop na will delete the rows. Okay, it will see the na values and it will just delete that particular row, but here we are telling how to delete. So we are saying, okay, look for a subset where age in company, basically here look for age in company and look for city, look for na values and just delete those values. Not only values, it will not only delete the value, but it will delete the entire row itself. Okay, it will delete the entire row itself. Now there are one more complexity this subset you can add. So let me just show you. So there are one more complexity which is called as how comma how equals to. So how has two option, all and any. Okay, all and any. So instead of uh, age in company, I'm adding weight in company. Okay, I'm saying df dot drop na, meaning I'm asking it to delete the drop na value or null values, and I'm saying subset equals to city in weights in kg and city, meaning this column and this column, and I'm asking it to delete the null values. How? Any. It means any means even if single value spotted. Okay, so even if you spot a single value here, okay, even if you spot a single value, it will try to delete. So you can see weights in kg don't have null values and city also don't have null values at the moment. But here story changes when you say how equals to all. It means it will look for, it will look for all null values only. If any row, sorry, if any column or a row, whatever, okay, if any row or a column, it should have null values, all, basically all the elements should be null, otherwise it will not delete. Okay, all the values should be null, meaning हर एक रो में किसी कॉलम के किसी पूरा पूरा कॉलम ही नल होना चाहिए. अगर ऐसा कोई कॉलम रहता इसके अंदर, एज ऑफ नाउ है नहीं हमारे पास, तो ये डिलीट कर देता उस कॉलम को या उस रो को. यहाँ पर अगर हर एक कोई रो के अंदर सारे ही नल वैल्यूज होते हैं तभी उसको वो डिलीट करेगा, अदरवाइज इट विल नॉट डिलीट. एनी में क्या रहेगा, एनी में रहेगा कि हर एक रो में चेक करेगा वो, और कहीं पे भी नल वैल्यू दिखेगा वो डिलीट कर देगा. सिंपल. ओके, एनी में कोई एक भी, इट विल लुक फॉर वन सिंगल वैल्यू, एंड ऑल में इट विल लुक फॉर ऑल द वैल्यूज. हर एक रो के अंदर, हर एक कॉलम के अंदर नल वैल्यू होनी चाहिए तभी वो डिलीट करेगा. ठीक है, सो ये कब यूज करा जाता है? लेट्स से यू हैव अ लाइक वेरी ह्यूज डेटा सेट एंड यू वांट टू डिलीट, यू आर नॉट श्योर वेदर द पर्टिकुलर रो हैज नल वैल्यूज, है ना, जो ऐसे दिख रहा है ना, ये वाला यहाँ पर भी कहीं पे दिख रहा है फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एंड देन you say how equals to all, so it will look for whether the particular row has all the null values. If there are null values, it will simply delete, right? जैसे यहाँ पर अगर मैं आपको दिखा दूँ, so let's say this column, है ना, this row, this row has all the null values. So if we would have used that particular function how equals to all, ये column sacrifice हो जाता, सॉरी ये रो, मैं भी भूल जा रहा हूँ, ये रो sacrifice हो जाता. Okay, any, all right, no worries, no question. I hope I am trying to slow it down little bit because this is somewhat थोड़ा दिमाग को हैवी हैवी हो जाएगा. ओके, you need 2 minutes break, 1 minute break. Are you with me, guys? Yes, no? Yes, no? Are you getting this? Basically, are you getting this? Yes, no? Okay, yes. All right. So if you are getting this, that's a good thing. Then let's continue with what we have. So now इसके बारे में इतना ही था. ड्रॉप एन ए के अंदर you can use subset, you can use how, और you can use क्या कहते हैं, थ्रेशोल्ड एंड एक्सेस. ओके, थ्रेशोल्ड एंड एक्सेस. थ्रेशोल्ड लगा सकते हो कि किस वैल्यू के बाद you want to delete the row or column. Okay, and सबसेट इज फॉर पर्टिकुलरली कौन सा एक कॉलम 2 कॉलम 3 कॉलम आपको चाहिए, ठीक है, देन ओनली you can go for it. All right, so now let me just introduce you with one function quickly that is called as I think np.where हमने सीखा था numpy में, है ना, np.where. बेसिकली एक एग्जांपल देता था, np.where इनसाइड दिस आई विल से df के अंदर फॉर एग्जांपल वेट्स टाइप ही एक कॉपी कर लेता हूँ, है ना. व्हाट आई हैव सेड, np.where numpy.where कहाँ पर, जहाँ पर df का जो वेट है, df के अंदर ये जो वेट्स इन kg है, ठीक है, वेट्स इन kg है, वो वेट लेस देन 50, वो वेट लेस देन 50 जहाँ जहाँ पर है वो उसका मुझे एरे दे दे. तो ये क्या करेगा, उनकी इंडाइसेस दे देगा मेनली आई गेस, ठीक है. तो जहाँ जहाँ पर वेट लेस देन 50 है, ओके, वेट लेस देन 50 जहाँ कहीं भी रहेगा, उनकी ये इंडाइसेस दे दिया मुझे उसने. ओके, एट लोकेशन 7, 8, 14 समथिंग 88, 88 इन जगह पर हियर द वेट्स इन kg इज लेस देन 50. सो दिस इज व्हाट np.where डू. ये क्या करता है, इट इज लाइक अ फिल्टर, इट सेज इट्स लाइक अ फिल्टर, राइट. यू जस्ट गेव अ कंडीशन, ठीक है, नंपाई प्रैक्टिस करो गाइस, ठीक है, हर एक चीज़ यूज होगी. np.where वी आर सेइंग जहाँ जहाँ पर वेट लेस देन 50 है वो दे दो, तो उनकी हमें लोकेशन मिल गई. ओके, सिंस वी गॉट दिस लोकेशन, फॉर एग्जाम्पल now I will use one function, it is called as df.drop, जिसके बारे में हम बात कर रहे थे. कहाँ पर, ये वाला df.drop. ओके, df.drop na हो गया हमारा, drop na null values. This is used for dropping the null values only. This is used for dropping the rows and columns. रो एंड कॉलम को डिलीट करने के लिए ये डायरेक्टली यूज़ करा जाता है. दिस इज़ नॉट रिलेटेड टू, यू कैन से नॉट रिलेटेड टू नल वैल्यूज, ठीक है. दिस इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू नल वैल्यू, ये नल वैल्यू को इसका लेना देना नहीं है। अगर उसको इसके अंदर जो भी कंडीशन आप डाल रहे हो, इफ दैट कंडीशन मैचेस इट विल जस्ट डिलीट। सो लेट्स सी, हमने क्या कहा था, हमने कहा था जहाँ जहाँ पर वेट्स इन केजी 50 से कम है वो वाली इंडेक्स दे दो मुझे। जिनका जिनका वेट 50 से कम है, आई एम सेइंग जिनका जिनका वेट 50 से कम है, आई एम कंसिडरिंग दोज पीपल एज अंडर वेट, है ना। और मेरे कंपनी में अंडर वेट लोग नहीं चाहिए, ऐसा मैंने कह दिया। ओके, आई हैव सेड आई डोंट वांट पीपल हु आर अंडर वेट। देन आई विल से df dot drop, and here I will apply that condition in p dot where, and basically this entire flow I will try to update. Okay, here the entire flow I will try to update.
No. Less than 50 means why 51, 55, 56, 57
So
came.
these are not values, these are indices. Okay, 51 row, 51th row. Okay, let me just get you the df under slice, I think 49 से लेकर मुझे दे दो 90 तक। सो दीज इंडाइसेस बेसिकली, सो कहाँ था वो, क्या था, 51th, आई नीड टू चेक 51th, दिस वन यू कैन सी दिस इज अंडर 40, है ना। 51th अंडर 40, व्हाट वाज द अदर 55, so
Okay, got
55 is also under 40, 50. Okay, so these are not values, these are the locations, the indices. Okay, it gives indices, or I will say what we called as location, maybe location or index, not and not values directly. All right, so since we got these locations or these indices, I am just saying and df drop कर दो ये values, मैंने directly बोल दिया भाई drop कर दो, I don't want these values at all. बट अभी इसका ये जो array है, ये जो array है, ये array का मुझे ये 0th एलिमेंट चाहिए रहेगा। यहाँ पर देखो आप, यू कैन सी 1 कॉमा, इट मीन्स दिस इज 0th एलिमेंट, इसके बाद का और एक फर्स्ट एलिमेंट रहेगा, देन सेकंड एलिमेंट रहेगा। मतलब कुछ इस तरीके से पांडास वर्क करता है या नंपाई वर्क करता है। तो आई विल सिंपली से 0, है ना। ये स्लाइसिंग जैसे यूज़ करते हैं ना, अभी मैंने दिखाया स्लाइसिंग के अंदर, स्क्वायर ब्रेसेस के अंदर हम स्लाइसिंग यूज़ करते हैं। सो 0, एंड आई विल have to mention the axis equals to 0. So axis equals to 0 means again what, rows. So now it will look for whatever my df is here, whatever my df is, it will look for these values, and it will try to delete. So let's run this. Should we, okay, we have not got the error. Now since we do not have the, I should not do that, maybe I can save this into df1, so this is how my df1 looks like, and on this df1 I can say the same 49 is to 8090, or maybe you can see all the values here, all the values are above 50 because we have deleted those columns actually. If you even check df1 dot info, okay, df1 dot info, you can see values are not 100 now. Previously our df whichever our main df is there, we had 100 values here. Now we got rid of all the employees whose weight is less than 50. Okay, so df dot drop is directly used for deleting the row. Okay, It will not look for whether there are null values or not. It is not concern of it. It will just delete whatever the values are there. Okay, and you just have to mention the condition, whether you want to do it by row wise or axis or column wise, or what condition. I directly gave you the difficult condition because I s- I consider you now as a pro coder. Okay, because you guys been practicing every function, so this is really easy code for you to understand. So now I've given this condition directly inside df dot the drop, where I've said weights in kg, whoever's weight is less than 50, just delete that person from my data frame. I don't want that person in my company. Okay, so you can set up a lot of different filters. We have also seen filters like this, है ना, हमने यहाँ पर इसमें भी सीखे थे filters. df dot loc for example, and if I say loc के अंदर df, I will use let's say again same ही use कर लेते हैं, weights in kg. Okay, here, and here also I can say maybe less than 50, uh, and then we can specify. So this will also do the same. Okay, this will also do the same. So this has given me the entire what entire data frame, which has only employees whose weight is less than 50. Okay, and if I say dot index, maybe I'm not sure if this will work. Okay, this should work. Okay, so it also gave me the same indexes which this particular function gave. कहाँ गया वो ये वाला. So this code and this code is same. Here LOC हमने सबने सीखा है. इसके अंदर मुझे बस मैंने ये मेंशन कर दिया और उसके सामने इंडेक्स फंक्शन चला दिया. So I've got this, and I can simply say df dot drop. Okay guys, inside this drop I will straightforward copy this. And I will paste this. Okay, and when I run this, I will again get 77 rows. I've got rid of this 50. I can also say above 7, less than 70, जिसका भी रहेगा just drop कर दो उन सबको. So you can now see I have only got these many rows. इतने ही बचे. ये सारे जो weights in kg है, these people are, everyone is above 70. हर एक का weight either 70 है या above 70 है. So df dot drop has that power to do that. Okay, df dot drop have that power to do that. You just have to mention the what locate or the condition or the indices. यहाँ पर indices mention कर दो. ठीक है, अभी simple example देता हूँ. और for example I said df dot drop, and here I am just mentioning अच्छा ये वाला नहीं, हम सिर्फ weights in kg जो है ये डाल देते हैं. But here you need to mention axis equals to 1. Why? Because I want this column to delete. I don't want this column in my data frame. Okay, how my data frame looks like. This is how my data frame looks like. 100 rows, 7 columns. Sorry. And I don't want this weights in kg in my data frame. So what I will do, I will say df dot weights in kg. I don't want, मुझे बस ये हटा दो. So let's check. weights in kg चले गया guys. Okay, so meaning अगर मुझे कोई डेटा फ्रेम से कोई कॉलम हटाना है, so I will simply mention the column name. जैसे कमेंट में बताओ और कौन सा कॉलम हटाना है इसके अंदर. drop in the comments what column you want to get rid of. Someone from IIT Tirupati says hi भैया. Hello IIT Tirupati भाई, IIT के लोग. less than 50 means 51 came. Yes, you are right. Okay, let's say we don't want this city column. Okay, so I will say comma, and I will add city, and whenever I will add multiple values, I will add it in the list. Okay, so this is common for everything. And now when I run this code, I will get rid of all the columns. Okay, so now you can see, if I again call the df, if I again call the df, I will get the entire df. It means my changes has not been applied. So you can, whenever you want to apply the changes, you need to say in place equals to true. Okay, in place equals to true. If you run this, and now if you call your data frame, you can see there the changes has been applied. ठीक है, इट मीन्स आपने जो जो चेंजेस करे थे वो सारे चेंजेस अप्लाई हो गए. ओके, सो मैं फिर से ये काम करता हूँ. जो हमारी डेटा सेट हमने रन करी थी, मैं उसको लेके आता हूँ. ऑलराइट, आई एम जस्ट ब्रिंगिंग द डेटा सेट बैक बिकॉज उसके रोज डिलीट हो गए, कॉलम्स डिलीट हो गए ना, तो उसको लिख के आते हैं वापस. नाउ this df drop this function also support the indices. Let's say I say 1 को डिलीट कर दो, like 0 को डिलीट कर दो, 1 को डिलीट कर दो, 5 को डिलीट कर दो, and I am saying axis equals to 0. ठीक है, मीनिंग क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं, आई एम सेइंग 0 को डिलीट कर दो, 5 को डिलीट कर दो, एंड 1 को डिलीट कर दो, एंड 5 को डिलीट कर दो. when I say like this, and axis equals to 0 means what? Again, it's a row operation, right? Here 0 got deleted, 1 got deleted, and you can see 5 has also been got deleted. Okay, so this is how this df.drop function works. So you can basically mention the columns name, you can basically mention the uh, row's name, and you just have to mention the axis equals to 0 or 1. It will do its work. Okay, so quickly revising everything, we have basically covered all these things. इसका हमने कल, ये सब हमने कल देखा था, और ये दो फंक्शन हमने आज थोड़ा ज़्यादा डीपली देखे. ठीक है, कल हम df.na भी देखा था, ड्रॉप na भी देखा था, बट दीज टू फंक्शंस वी हैव सीन इन अ डेप्थ. सो फर्स्ट हमने देखा, वी हैव सीन कि हाउ वी कैन import the column, import the libraries, import the file. This is how my data set look like. This is how I should get to know what the information is. Then data set, I have seen df.dropNA where I have mentioned the threshold equals to 6. It means it will work only when the threshold will hit. ठीक है, and I can also mention different thresholds. I can also mention the row wise operation or a column wise operation. So I have chose a row wise operation here, right? Then row and column has already been done. Then I have said df.dropNA subset equals to city. Here I am expecting this subset as in where I can mention the column name. Okay, I can mention the column name. So here I have mentioned column name equals to city. Then it means it will only look into the city column. Okay, I have mentioned different columns. Then it will only look for those columns like city in company and age in company and city. It will not look for other columns. Like here null value was there, but it did not look for it. It only looked for age in company and city, and it deleted the null values, you can see. Then there is one more thing, is how you want to delete. It will, when we say any, it means at least one null value should be there. Okay, at least null value should be there. And when we say all, it means it will look for if all values are null or not. If there are all values are null, if all values are null, then only it will delete, otherwise it will not. Then we have seen np.where. Basically we have not seen, we have practiced it. because np.where is something that we have already seen in past. What it gives, you just have to mention a condition here, it will give you the indices. We have used this condition inside this df.drop. Here we have directly used this condition, and when we say drop kar do all those values which are less than, who has less than 50 kg weight. So you can see our data don't really have the weight who's like less than 50. Okay, so this is what a drop do. ये डायरेक्टली स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है. ड्रॉप क्या करेगा, उसके अंदर जो भी कंडीशन आप डालोगे वो उसको डिलीट कर देगा सिंपली. सो ये कॉम्प्लेक्स कंडीशन डालो, कॉम्प्लेक्स तो है नहीं वो, बट डालो वो डिलीट कर देगा. एल को लेकर भी हमने सेम चीज़ चलाई. एल के अंदर भी यू गेट द सेम वैल्यूज़ बेसिकली, बट यू सेड इंडाइसेस दे दो. एंड देन स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड अगर आप बोल दो कि अरे वेट्स इन केजी ही डिलीट कर दो, तो डिलीट कर देगा वेट्स इन केजीज, नो मोर इन योर डेटा सेट नाउ. इफ़ यू से कि ये 2 कॉलम डिलीट कर दो, योर 2 कॉलम्स आर नो मोर इन योर डेटा सेट. एंड इफ़ यू से कि रोज डिलीट कर दो, एक्सेस इक्वल्स टू 0, इट मीन्स रोज डिलीट कर दो, इट विल डिलीट योर रोज, राइट. So this is what we have learned today. Okay, any questions? Opening a window for questions, guys. People on the YouTube, people on in the class. Okay, no questions. No question. Anyone else? Question, no question. All right, if you have understood everything or most of the thing, type in the comments. And guys, we'll be having a okay, Vin, we'll be having a exam very soon. So we are about to complete our entire Python, and we will move to machine learning. Maybe in 1 or 2 lecture we will complete the Python entirely, and then we will move to machine learning. Before that, I want you to be master in Python. So whatever we have learned in terms of uh, interviews or work, this is going to be very useful. So I will conduct the exam very soon. I will announce the dates in the group. What you have to do is you have to practice Python, complete Python from string, everything. If you want the notes or recorded video, I think here I have made a playlist, डिफरेंट प्लेलिस्ट यू हैव. पांडास के लिए अलग है, इवनिंग बैच जो हमारा चलता है इसमें सारे लेक्चर आई विल अपडेट द प्लेलिस्ट ऑल्सो. नमपाई है, या यहाँ से ये शुरू कर लो, और डायरेक्टली लाइव जो हमारा ये जो फंक्शन है यहाँ पर हम हर एक लेक्चर ले रहे हैं. यू गो थ्रू ऑल द लेक्चर्स, और मे बी नॉट लेक्चर्स, वी हैव ऑल्सो गिवन द क्या कहते हैं इसको, गिटहब पे सारे ही नोटबुक्स है. हर एक नोटबुक्स को गो थ्रू करो, एंड हर एक असाइनमेंट को गो थ्रू करो, हर एक क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करो. ये नोटबुक्स गो थ्रू करने का 1-2 दिन का काम है, आपका हो जाएगा, पूरा सिलेबस कवर हो जाएगा. एंड ये नोटबुक, ये जो नंपाई, ये जो असाइनमेंट्स है, एवरीवन हैज़ टू कंप्लीट द असाइनमेंट्स. और अगर असाइनमेंट कंप्लीट कर ही रखी है तो एग्ज़ाम में यू कैन डू वेल. ओके, सो देर विल बी एग्जाम्स सून. आई एम actually building a platform, or maybe we will use something different platform to conduct exam, but there will be exam soon before we start machine learning. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. See you for tomorrow. I will drop this notes in the group and recording URL also. Right, guys, see you in the next lecture. Bye, good night.